Hello, this is my demo of the OpenVAS Overview Lab. OpenVAS is the Open Vulnerability Assessment System. Um, Now, you're going to need a few things. One, you're going to, at the very minimum you'll need is your Metasploitable framework and your ParrotSec VM. As the instructions in the lab indicate, there's an easy way to do this and a hard way to do this. Um, if you want to do this the hard way, you could just as easily do it with Kali, um, because you'll have to start by installing OpenVAS and then configuring OpenVAS. And while installing OpenVAS is not all that difficult, configuring it, that is to say, getting all of the database and the updates and all of it, all the CVE, all that stuff, that is going to be a long, involved process. I've done it once before. I think it took me an entire night. Um, so yeah, what I'm going to do is take the same VM that I've provided to the class in our share, um, and I'm going to use it to check out my Metasploitable framework. So, of course, the first thing we want to do, let's set some groundwork. Do IP address show on both systems. So let's do, and of course we can do the -4 option to just get your IPv4. So there's this, and I can nmap myself. I also want to make sure I know what I've got going on. Now, part of the reasons I'm doing this, OpenVAS uses a web server, a web page. So one of the things you should see once you get OpenVAS going is port 80 coming open. OpenVAS is actually accessible on localhost on port 9392. So what I have here, this tells me OpenVAS is not running yet, so I'm going to have to start that. The other thing I want is my Metasploitable. What is its IP address? IP-4 address show, and not -r-4. Okay, 112. So the next thing to do, going back to ParrotSec, nmap. I can do an nmap of 192, 168, 112, and as you can see, there's quite a lot open. We're going to more or less check to see if we can't duplicate these kinds of results from inside the ParrotSec GUI. So the first thing you need to do is actually start OpenVAS. What you can do here is go to Applications and Parrot and System Services, OpenVAS. Go down here. You can do, there's a couple of options. You can update the feed, you can do initial setup, you can check your setup. What you need to do is do OpenVAS start. Boom. And you provide your password, and we're going to wait. When it is good and ready, on our end, over here, we'll see port 80 come open. We should also be able to scan to see if port 9392 is open. Dash P 392. See if this works. Okay. I'm going to do this with sudo. Okay, and it didn't like that, but it did show me that port 80 is now open. Okay, the quickest way to do this, not shown 1,000. Okay, interesting. Let's look at something. Just going to do nmap. I'm going to do nmap less. So, okay. Okay, so it is opening. It doesn't like it, so it's missing something. Okay, so this tells me that the GUI is up. So now I can go look and see if it's really there. All hosts online. Oh, that's what I want. I was doing this the wrong way. -P. I was using the. I should do go to the lowercase p. See, and it's there. Let's actually do 1, 2, 10,000. Let's see what happens. So, okay. So the system is open. So now what we can do is fire up a web browser. Firefox will do. I don't suggest doing this. Let me move myself a bit. I do not suggest doing this with, okay, let me put myself over here. Yeah, this will do. I do not suggest doing this with, say, links, though I suppose it probably could work. One other fun thing, I've noted this already once before, but notice these three boxes up here. This is effectively a performance monitor that's just kind of working for you. So we'll go here. We can do localhost. Notice, Greenbone Security Assistant. Localhost :9392. We'll do this. And our password is password1. And we'll log in. And we've got a dashboard. Yeah, it's missing some of its database, but that's okay. Ideally, you want to update this thing before you start anything interesting with it. So what we're going to do now is go to our task wizard. Go to Scans, Tasks, and okay, good. And we can, let's go to the Advanced Wizard option. Tasks. Let's try that again. Click. Okay. Let's find our Advanced Wizard option. Okay. Actually, let me squunch this a bit. I don't need the thumbnail right now. Okay. Scans, tasks. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Got it. Okay, so we go to Advanced Task Wizard. Let's call it MSF2 fast scan. We'll set the target host to 192.168.1.12. We're not going to do anything picky with it. Not worry about scheduling or ESXi credentials or SMB or SSH or anything like that. Just hit create. And we'll think. And it is scanning. Okay. And we can. Okay. We're gonna give it a little bit of time to see what it finds. So it is running. So I'm going to pause. It's about 3:30. I'm going to pause this and we'll come back to it when it's done. Okay, so we are about 8 minutes along, 2% along. This is obviously going to take some while. The Redis server If you were to do, say, check setup before you started OpenVAS, it might complain at you about the Redis server not being up to date, or something to that effect. You can see the OpenVAS daemon is doing a lot of work. OpenVAS is now essentially the free and open form of another program called Nessus, which they will very happily charge you for. But the good news is OpenVAS is free, will, I believe, remain free. Whether or not all the really good stuff has been forked off onto the closed side of this project is another question. Another thing I wanted to show you, I double-click the box up here just to see what this thing is doing. And of course, you've got little tooltips there. You can see how much it's passing along, what the CPU is doing. It's kind of hard to see because the lines are actually, you know what? Maybe I can make this much bigger. Oh, that helps a lot. Okay, so if you're looking for a performance monitor, you need to look no further than those things right there. As you can see, it is using quite a lot of its memory, quite a lot of its CPU, and you're seeing spikes in your network traffic. Ostensibly, you would think if it's only scanning one host, so this low-level send receive is not all that unusual. So I'm going to pause this again and come back when there's something to talk about. Alternatively, I might have to check in every once in a while and then just go on to another video. And we're finally getting somewhere. Now, if it notes in the instructions that you can wait for the scan to finish or set a refresh interval, and that option is right up here in the green bar over by your login, logout options. What I set it to, you could set it to refresh every 30 seconds, refresh every 5 minutes, and strangely enough, I seem to be making more progress with it set to refresh every 5 minutes or no auto refresh than 30 seconds. As you can see, we're up to 88%, so I'm going to pause this again. I may be done within the next 10 to 15 minutes, and then we can discuss what we discovered. Okay, so we're back. Let's look at this scan now. It's at 100%. It looks like it took about 30 minutes. Let's look in detail at it. By its reckoning, it took 23 minutes and 44 seconds, found 140 results. So let's look at that. Okay. So I've got, interesting. So I've got a bunch of log statements, some high, medium, and low. I've got a word cloud, and I've got some mappings to CVSS. Let's say I want to, let's see, so service detection. Let's do the high. Okay, rexec login, TikiWiki groupware. Let's see, mitigations, workaround, vendor fix. Let's see if I can't just go for high severity stuff. Aha, good. So so I can see there is VSFTP compromised. Of course, we kind of already know that because I've already used Metasploit from my Kali box to gain root on VSFTPD. I've already injected that exploit. And there is a weak password on MySQL MariaDB. PostgreSQL is weak. I could actually break into SSH. Remote shell is unencrypted. There appears to be a clear text login on the remote exec port. I can even see which ports I could attack here. So